The 50th Regiment of Foot was an infantry regiment of the British Army from 1755 to 1881. History. The regiment was originally raised as the 52nd Regiment of Foot, but was renumbered in 1757 following the disbandment of the existing 50th and 51st Regiments. It spent most of the 7 Years' War in England, raiding the French coast in 1757 and fighting in Germany in 1760, where it saw action at the Battle of Warburg, the Battle of Villingen, and the Battle of Wilhelmsthal. The regiment was posted to Jamaica in 1772, and then to New York in 1776. At this point, troops were transferred to other regiments and the officers returned to England to raise a new force. As such, the regiment did not see action in the American Revolutionary War. In 1778, they saw action serving on various ships of the Royal Navy as Marines, including at the First Battle of Ushant. In 1782, they changed the name to the 50th Regiment of Foot. During the Napoleonic Wars, the regiment saw action in Egypt, in Denmark, and in the Peninsular War, including the Battle of Corunna. A second battalion was raised, serving from 1804 to 1814. It saw action at Walcheren, as did the 1st Battalion. After a battle in the Peninsular War, the regiment was nicknamed the Dirty Half-Hundred. The regiment had worn uniforms with black facings, and when they wiped sweat away with the cuffs, the dye stained the faces. In 1827 they were retitled 50th Regiment of Foot, in honor of the future William IV of the United Kingdom, and then as the 50th Regiment of Foot in 1831 in honor of William's wife, Queen Adelaide. They travelled to Australia in detachments in the 1830s as escorts to prisoners, and then to India in 1841. They fought in the Gwalior Campaign in 1843, and were in the thick of all 4 battles throughout the First Anglo-Sikh War in 1845 to 1846, taking heavy casualties and losing a large majority of officers. The regiment returned to England soon after. In 1854 they were based in Malta, and moved to the Crimea when the Crimean War broke out. The regiment fought at the Battle of Alma, the Battle of Inkerman, and in the Siege of Sevastopol. In the 1860s they were once more in Australia and New Zealand, fighting in the New Zealand Land Wars in 1864. In 1881, they amalgamated with the 97th Regiment of Foot to form the Queen's Own. In 2010, the remains of some soldiers of the regiment were located in the cemetery at Sutton Forest in New South Wales. Battle Honours. French Revolutionary Wars 1793 to 1802, Egypt. Peninsular War 1808–14, Vimiero, Corunna, Almaraz, Vitoria, Pyrenees, Nive, Orths, Peninsula, Gwalior Campaign 1843, Punya. First Sikh War 1845–46, Moodki, Firoz Shah Alawal, Sabran. Crimean War 1854–55, Alma, Inkerman, Sevastopol. Third Maori War 1863–66, New Zealand. Colonels. Source: British Empire 50th Regiment of Foot 1755–1756, Gen. James Abercrombie, 1756–1759, F. M. Studholme Hodgson, 1759–1760, F. M. John Griffin Whitwell, 4th Baron Howard de Walden KB, 1760–1764, Lt. Gen. Edward Carr, 1764–1774, Gen. Sir William Boothby Beattie, 1774–1775, Gen. Michael O'Brien Dilks. 1775 to 1777, Colonel Hon George Monson. 1777 to 1778, Gent Sir Thomas Spencer Wilson BT. 1778 to 1839, Gent Sir James Duff. 50th Regiment of Foot. 1839 to 1842, Gents Georgetown and Walker BT GCB. 1842 to 1844, LT Gents Hudson Low KCB GCMG. 1844 to 1849, LT Gents John Gardner KCB. 1849 to 1851, Major Gents Dudley St. Ledger Hill KCB. 1851 to 1852, LT Gen William Francis Bentinck Loftus. 1852 to 1853, Major Gen James Allen CB. 1853 to 1854, LT Gents George Arthur BTKCH. 1854 to 1861, Gents Richard England GCBKH. 1861 to 1862, LT Gen George Morton Eden. 1862 to 1872, LT Gen Marcus John Slade. 1872 to 1881, Gen Sir Edward Walter Forstier Walker KCB.